What's going on, guys? Welcome back with another tech news. Today I have some news from AMD side, Nvidia and MSI. And first up today is that AMD's next gen Ryzen Zen 6 Medusa rich CPUs to come in 12, 24 and 32 core flavors up to 128 MB L3 cache. And the company has already announced the continuation of Zen 6 and Zen 6C cores, which will be available on server, laptop and desktops, and they will be on same AM5 platform. And it was also reported that the Zen 6 would come in CCD configuration ranging from 8, 16 and up to 32 cores. But Zhang Zhongao, a chip health forum member and a credible insider, shared some news information about these new SSD CPUs. And as we can see here, the 12-core Zen 6 CCD with 48 MB L3 cache, 32-core Zen 6C CCD with 128 MB L3 cache, and desktop non-X3D variant of the chips are up to 48 MB times 2 equals to 96 MB L3 cache. The user states that the 12-core Zen 6 CCD will feature a 48 MB L3 cache, while the 32 variant will pack with the 128 MB L3 cache. The 32-core variant will come with the Zen 6 core instead of the vanilla Zen 6 cores. It is also said that desktop non-X3D CPUs will feature 248 MB L3 cache cluster or 48 MB per CCD, which will round up to 96 MB. So for easier explanation, we get something like the following: Zen 6 CCD 48 MB L3 cache, and dual Zen 6 CCDs up to 96 MB L3 cache, single Zen 6C CCD 64 MB of L3 cache, and dual Zen 6C CCDs up to 128 MB L3 cache. And the standard AMD Zen 6 CCDs will offer 50% increase in cache count over the Zen 5 cores, while the Zen 6C CCD will offer the double cache count uplift versus the Zen 5. Okay, next up today is that MSI rejects the claim of recalling Nvidia's GeForce RTX 5090 over fire hazard, says that the rumors are completely false. And it was reported that a retailer in Netherlands claimed that the Nvidia is recalling the GeForce RTX 5090s because of a fire hazard risk, citing that an MSI Supreme variant was recalled according to the retailer. But MSI was quick enough and released a press release, quote, "We had the unpleasant surprise of learning on 3/6/2025 through an article on a Kit Guru website link that a Dutch retailer UW Game Specialist allegedly informed a customer that they were unable to fulfill their order because 5 GeForce RTX 5090 32GB Supreme SoCs from our brand has supposedly been recalled due to the fire hazard." With this statement, we would like to make it clear that these allegations are absolutely false and that no recall program is in progress and that our products present no such risk. Furthermore, we would like to specify that this retailer is not one of the MSI's partner and we do not work with them. We reserve the right to initiate the legal proceeding against those responsible for these high defamatory allegations which harms our brand's reputation, as well as against anyone contributing to their dissemination. And we recommend you to purchase from one of our authorized resellers as listed below, which were Magico, Azerty, Alternate NL, Alternate BE, SHS, CPS, PDC, Bol, Cool Blue, COPACO, Copaco by MSI. It would have been safe to say that something had gone wrong with the onboard power connector, but from now on, an average consumer wouldn't need to worry about their RTX 5090s getting burned out, since MSI has confirmed that such an issue doesn't exist at all. However, it's advised to carefully mount the Blackwell GPU, especially the flagship, cause it will cost you more. Now there is some good news from AMD's side regarding the AMD Radeon RX 9070 series GPU, as major retailers report selling over 5,000 units of AMD Radeon RX 9070 series GPU on launch day, working quickly to resolve the inventory as well. And the demand for AMD's initial batch of RDNA 4 GPU is pretty high, and the retailers like Micro Center have seen lines of people waiting to get their hands on the RX 9070 series. The UK seller Overclockers UK has disclosed the figure for the first day's sale, and they surely look surprising. A staff member of Overclocker UK said that they sold 5,000 units of RX 9070 on the first launch day. The numbers are indeed impressive, and seeing this much demand from them clearly shows that AMD's RX 9070 series has disrupted the mainstream GPU markets. Moreover, it is also claimed that the retailers has additional inventory incoming for AIB partners like Sapphire and Power Cooler, which means that many of the early buyers will get their unit and hopefully at MSRP as well. But there is also a bonus mentioned by Overclocker UK staff in the thread, claiming that if users purchase the listed GPU with a payment mode other than PayPal, then they can register their purchase much faster than other consumers. Given that PayPal takes a lot longer for the funds to get released, so those looking to register their orders as soon as possible, the staff advises changing the payment mode. Although this case is specific to a retailer and won't apply in all cases. However, Overclocker is apparently selling hundreds of GPU in seconds, hence the demand is massive right now. Next up today is that AMD confirms Ryzen 9 9950x3d for $699 and 9900x3d for $599 launching on 12th of the March. AMD is putting rumors to an end today by confirming that its high-end Ryzen 9 9950x3d and Ryzen 9 9900x3d CPUs will be hitting retail shelves on the 12th of the March. The Ryzen 9950x3d is going to be priced at an MSRP of $699, while the Ryzen 9 9900x3d will be priced at $599. Now, if you talk about the processor specs, the AMD Ryzen 9 9950x3d CPU. This chip features 16 core and 32 thread with 2 CCDs and single IO die. But the chip is configured similarly to the Ryzen 9 9950X, but comes with a 3dV cache boosted CCD, offering up to 144 MB of total cache. That's 64 MB from the Zen 5 CCD and 64 MB from the X3D stack, including an additional 16 MB of L2. Just like the Ryzen 9 9950X, the X3D variant will feature a maximum boost up to 5.7 GHz, while retaining all of its overclocking capabilities in a 170 watt GDP package. Moving over to the second part, we have the Ryzen 9 9900x3d CPU, which will retain the same core configuration as the Ryzen 9 9900X with 12 core 24 thread and 64 MB of L3 cache from its 2 CCDs, and with one of those 2 CCDs equipped with the second gen 3dV cache stack, which boosts the total figure up to 140 MB of cache. And AMD has maintained the same MSRP for its high-end Zen 5 CPUs as the last gen Zen 4 offering. Next up is AMD says Radeon RX 9070 series MSRP pricing to stay consistent even after launch. AIBs are working to replenish inventory levels, and Team Red's RDNA for GPU launch received quite a reception from the consumer markets, with retailers reporting thousands of units getting sold out in the initial launch timeline. With the huge demand, it was assumed that MSRP pricing on the RX 9070 series would last only for the first batch of the GPUs. However, according to the statement by AMD's Frank Azor, it is claimed that they were working with the supply chain to ensure the MSRP price tag remains consistent and that inventory levels will be replenished over time. This is indeed great news for consumers who are looking to get their hands on the RX 9070 series but couldn't do so on the first launch day. AMD is not increasing its pricing after the launch day shows the company's commitment to the mainstream GPU segment and how the firm is ensuring the consumers are getting to the most out of what they are paying. Team Red has also claimed they are working to get inventory back to optimal levels, which is yet again good news. However, the pricing of the RTX 9070 series might fluctuate based on the different regions. since in the EU the stock levels are much lower compared to those in the US. Due to this, some retailers might bump up the pricing, but with Team Red confirming that they are not raising the MSRP, we expect many variants to be available at the right price tag. And apart from this, custom top tier variants might retail for price above the MSRP, but that is something the respective AIB partners has set and is only for specific models. Okay guys, so last up for today is that AMD's newest Adrenalin 25.3.1 GPU drivers bring in support for RX 9070 series GPU, features FSR4 and AFMF 2.1, as well as Red's RX 9070 series GPUs are finally here, and AMD surely did their due diligence in terms of releasing software support for their new model right alongside the retail launch. And for new consumers, make sure to switch to the Adrenalin 25.3.1 version in order to get the maximum performance out of the new Radeon RDNA 4 GPUs. And if we talk about the new driver features, the AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 4 support is exclusive on AMD Radeon RX 9070 series graphics card. AMD FSR4 feature a new upgrade toggle in AMD Software Adrenalin Edition that automatically upgrades supported games that have a built-in AMD FSR 3.1 support to use the new machine learning based AMD FSR4 upscaling algorithm. And AMD FSR4 will be available for over 30 games on Radeon 9070 series graphics card. And if we talk about the fluid motion frames 2.1, that improve the frame generation image quality with reduced ghosting and better temporal tracking, and also supports for the AMD Radeon RX 6000 7000 9070 series graphics card with AMD Ryzen AI graphics 300 series processor. And if we talk about the AI performance improvement on the AMD Radeon RX 7000 series performs improvement to the following use cases: up to 70% improvement to Adobe Lightroom AI enhanced details, up to 13% improvement on Adobe Lightroom denoise, up to 40% improvement with Topaz Photo AI subtest, and up to 10% improvement on DaVinci Resolve AI cases. In terms of HyperRX support, HyperTune support allows HyperRX to enable in-game technologies like AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution and AMD Radeon NT-Lag 2. That support has been added to automatically configure AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution with frame generation in Farming Simulator 25, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, and Silent Hill 2. And some known issues that were fixed with the new driver updates are the HEVC encoding may not working as expected while using OBS Studio with the Twitch enhanced broadcasting, and intermittent driver timeout or crash may be observed when playing Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 on some AMD graphics products such as AMD Ryzen AI 9HX370. And also lower than expected performance may be observed in Delta Force on Radeon RX 7000 series graphics products, and intermittent shutter may be observed while playing Marvel's Rival when AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 3 frame generation is enabled. And if we talk about the known issues with the new driver release, we have intermittent crash of AMD Software Adrenalin Edition may be observed while playing Marvel Spider-Man 2 or Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart with AMD Image Inspector enabled. And users experience this issue are recommended to disable AMD Image Inspector as a temporary workaround. And third-party tools that rely on our ADL SDK for detecting ROPs counting will incorrectly report 64 ROPs, and we are looking to address this in a driver update post-launch. And incorrect gamma is exhibited while playing Counter-Strike 2 and using MSAA times 8 on Radeon RX 9070 graphics products. Also, AMD Software Adrenalin Edition may not be accurately report AMD FSR enablement for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and intermittent application crash may be observed in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle when settings are set to very ultra quality and path tracing is enabled. user experience this issue are recommended to use the default ray tracing setting as the temporary workaround. And that's it for today guys, and I will see you in the next video with the new tech news.